On this episode of the Procedurally Generated Show, Tony plays more baseball, Ethan rebuilds after a great loss, and Cole pilots a mech as a cat. We talk about the week's biggest news and answer your questions. Howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Procedurally Generated Show. I'm your host, Tony, and joining me this week, I've got Ethan.
You don't even question what I'm saying between the takes or anything. Aw.
Do I need to re-record the
No,
intro?
it was fine.
I mean, it sounded good to me.
I was really pushing Tony to start the show. I was like, all right, let's do this, and then he goes and fills in the blank spot that he didn't type in before.
Yeah, you wanted me to be like, wait, hold on. I got through an intro first of all, so
First
that is a
try.
miracle. That was first try, my friend. First try this week.
Here, let me fix your typo down here in the notes real quick.
What did I? Oh, come on now. Just because I can't spell world.
Wold.
More 3D world. It's going to be that kind of show this week. Also joining us is Cole.
Wanted, dead or alive.
Dude's bringing the singing this week.
How's it going?
It's going pretty good. We did not get to play what we wanted to play in the pre-show, unfortunately, because Microsoft does not like me. So
Yeah, that's really weird that would happen.
Instead of Scott Pilgrim versus the World this week for the pre-show, we went back to Halo. And we found more creative ways to kill each other.
And Tony broke the game with all his hacks.
Dude, I did. Is that staying in the pre-show?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't know how that happens. I ended up about 700 meters below the map and was still alive. And then for some reason, it teleported them down to me instead of me back to them. So, weird stuff happening in Halo this week. But we're not going to talk about Halo. At least I don't think any of us are going to talk about Halo. Some of us have been playing other things this week. So, Cole, what about you? What have you been playing?
So I went through Game Pass games, found something that looked a little interesting. Play Gato Roboto.
Good game.
It's a Samus Metroid style, retro style looking game where you go through, save you play as the cat, and you have to save your master from impending doom.
That you may or may not have caused, because you're a cat.
Right. And it's fun. It's pretty short, but it's got a lot of quirky moments and unlockables and nods to stuff that I won't spoil. But yeah,
I think we've
fun.
already spoiled them on this show before.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I'm late to the game. All right.
It's fine. No one's judging you.
It's on Game Pass, so I put it in.
Yeah, it's one of those games that's a really good Game Pass game. Because a lot of people are going to pass it over. It looks, if you just look at the screenshots, it's a weird looking game, and you're like, I don't want to play that. But if you've got it for free and you want something to play for an afternoon, it's the perfect kind of game to just download, and then you get sucked in because it is a really good game.
Yeah, it's like a 3 to 5 hour game tops. So that's like your whole afternoon right there.
Yeah,
and it's another digital title that sucked me in and got me playing.
They choose wisely what they produce.
Yeah, I still haven't. So I did not 100% it. I got about 48% done on that.
Wow.
I don't know that I'll go back just because it's not the best, or at least I didn't like it as much as some others. But
that's fair.
I do know that I do know that I'm gonna go back and try to like 100% Katana Zero. Maybe give Enter the Gungeon another try.
Cool. Cool.
And
Did you
I've been
try
messing a little
using
bit.
the attack button while you were just the cat without the mech?
Yes. So if you attack as a cat, you actually don't attack. You mew.
Meow.
Yep.
And,
And you
and
can
it does.
spam the crap out of it.
You can mew a lot. Unfortunately, it doesn't work underwater. But I mean,
Why
cats
would
don't
it?
like water in the first place. So yeah, just a little bit of that. A little bit of. I went back and visited Payday 2 some more.
Did you?
I did. I
Ethan
I
does not like Payday 2.
I just played it by myself. I didn't try to find a lobby or anything. Just I haven't like I've done basically the tutorials and I just did a mission a little bit ago just to get some extra money, but I might visit that some more. I don't know. There's a lot of games in Game Pass, so I'm gonna work my way through.
Yeah. I really wish Splinter Cell Blacklist would come. I know it's not going to be a game that's ever coming back, but
It might
and
pop up in the Ubisoft, whatever their thing is.
I don't think Ubisoft cares. It is on Ubisoft Plus, so I mean I could play it there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Um, but I don't think Ubisoft cares about Splinter Cell anymore.
But yeah, that's about all I played. Uh, Ethan, been gaming
Uh,
any?
if by gaming you mean rebuilding that which was
Oh,
lost, then yes.
this is a heartbreaking story.
This almost caused me to stop the up. Was I uploading or was I rendering? I think I was almost done rendering actually. I almost went and undid our top 5 games of 2020 because of this. In
Really?
fact, this cut me so deep, so deep. I was angry. So Animal Crossing: New Horizons. A friend of mine, she got Switch Online or whatever for Christmas or something. I don't know. I didn't ask details on that. And she's like, "You got to come visit my island." I'm like, "Okay, cool. I'll bring you a bunch of cool stuff from my island, and you can come help me clean up the weed mess on mine because I haven't played in months." I probably should
Yeah,
rephrase that better because I don't mean drugs. I mean actual weeds growing all over the island.
I didn't know if there was the new Horizons update that incorporated the laws that have been changing in the U.S. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I rephrased that really quick after saying it. Phrasing, am I right? So, so she's like really excited. She's like, okay, I'll help you with the island cleanup. Everything's going good, and it was gonna be a fun moment.
Sure.
So between the deep sea diving stuff you could do update, which was the last time I played,
Hmm.
and no, December 31st, during that time period, I had picked up a new Switch, transferred everything over, made sure my save data transferred over to the new Switch.
Okay.
And then December 31st comes up, and she's like, "Hey, I'm free. You come visit my island." I'm like, okay. I start the game up, and it's giving me the whole new player welcoming thing on there.
Oh no.
Oh.
I quickly got out of there, went and checked for the save data. It doesn't exist. I can't
Yeah,
get it
because and
from.
you can't back it up.
I can't grab it from this old Switch because I modded the crap out of that so I could run emulation and try some custom stuff on there. So I'm kind of at a major loss of what to do at the time. Finally, I just have to cut my losses and restart because there's no way to get that information back.
Oh my gosh! And you
I,
had put a ton of time into
I put a good
that
amount of
first
time on
island.
there. My island was like 4 star out of 5. I had finally unlocked the terraforming stuff. I was really excited about that. I'd been I think Tony, you remember seeing the pictures where I had like the double waterfall all around my house.
Yeah.
I had like I was in the middle of like relocating everyone, getting this perfect design down just for my own ideas for how I wanted the layout of my island to be, where like here's residential, here's where your king rules over everyone, me, and then like where the like resident so it's like residential, business, and then middle area was of course going to be the same thing that it always is, but
Yeah.
like I had everything planned out, easy access built stuff and ideas that I wanted to try out, all thrown away.
Gosh,
And
that stinks.
here's where it gets worse. When you make a new character, you don't have your same friends anymore because those are character specific.
Yep.
So me being friends with you, Micah, Shannon, Shelby, Cole,
Yeah.
that is all specific to that Ethan from that
Yep. So
island.
you have to redo your friends list and everything.
So I'm building the new friend list. I go onto our chat. I'm like, hey guys, do any of y'all want to donate to the rebuilding cause fund or whatever? I forget what I called it. And Mike is like, yeah, I just sent you something. I'm like, no, you didn't. I don't know what he
Aw.
sent, but I feel bad because it's lost forever now, whatever he sent, because
Yeah.
I didn't get it. And I never will.
Gosh.
So uh,
They have to allow you to back up those saves. It's
there is a backup
ridiculous that you
option
can't.
on there now. I think you press the minus button on the start screen,
Yeah.
and it goes through a whole backup process on there. And there's also a
Okay.
transfer, and there's like a moving process that you can do as well. The help of my friend coming to my ratty little starter island at this point has been a great help. She donated a lot of basically everything and helped me out on there. My little
Yeah.
sister, she came to my island. She hit a million bells on there. She donated like one or like full stacks of each fruit and everything, so I could get those started on there. Uh, so it's been great with all the help I got on there, and I immediately had a house after the first day, and then next day it's paid off. Then the next day the next room the expansion's paid off. Then the next room is paid off. Next room is paid off. Third room on there, I'm still trying to pay that off right now.
And Tom looks like I thought I was a criminal.
He is a criminal. He's
Oh yeah,
getting more money from me on here.
Maybe he deleted your save
He
file.
probably did.
yeah. You got that 2020 Doomsday update is what happened.
Mm-hmm.
You were the only one that got it.
Somewhere along the line, I realized I have another Switch, and I can play the original game on there. So I went and bought a digital copy for the main Switch and put the physical cart in my modded one, since I
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to download it. And so the idea is to update that game and then hop back and forth and using that one to play the stock market and get those good prices,
Yeah.
which I actually meant to do. But Shannon, being the helpful person he is, said I could use the item duping glitch in 1.0.
Mm, you sure could.
And then when I tried to visit that island doing the local area network stuff, it's trying to force me to update through a Switch party thing on there.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want to update this.
Yeah.
So because I don't want to update that, I'm not going to because I want to do those glitches. But at the
Yeah.
same time, it's like I'm going to have to update this version of the game just so I can do the stock market glitch stuff on here. Because otherwise I can never visit that island.
Yeah.
So it's a whole process.
Man.
But it's a good process because I'll be able to take advantage of various stuff on there and eventually get it back to where I was at. And so
When you're
so if anyone's gone back to hear what my top 5 of 2020 was, Just take Animal Crossing out of there and leave Doom Eternal on there because I'm not happy with the way that worked out.
So I'm hearing that
Understandable.
I hear there's an opening in your top 5. May I suggest Destiny 2?
May I remind you that my top 5, that number 5 was Animal Crossing and Doom Eternal.
Oh, gotcha. So now it's just Doom Eternal.
Yeah, it's just Doom Eternal. And I seriously was like in the middle of debating, like, I'm this close to being done with this upload or this render. I don't remember which it was. I think it was I think it was the upload whenever I found out, and I didn't feel like re-rendering the whole thing and then re-uploading.
So since you played it recently, have you made a snowman with all winter weather?
I've made one perfect snowman today,
Nice.
but I've made multiple snowmen and they were never correct. One of them was at that 90% ratio, but not perfect.
And Anna and her sister have been playing, and she's like, "How'd you make a snowman?" It's like you just roll it, and then when you make the next one, it's just got to be a little bit smaller, and then you push it up next to it. I was like, "There's snowmen?"
There are.
I guess that makes sense with there being snow.
You make the snowman, they give you a large snowflake and a recipe if you make them perfect. The first one that you make will always give you the snowflake and a recipe. Anything after that, if it's not perfect, you don't get crap. They're like, thanks for making me, even though you did it wrong, LOL.
It's like that GIF of or GIF. I don't want to offend anyone.
You said GIF.
Bart. a Bart with the cake that says "at least you tried," and then he throws it away.
I saw that episode not that long ago. They had 2 cakes ready. One's like, congratulations. The other one's like, at least you tried. It's like, Bart, we don't need that cake anymore. Nice. It's like, no, keep it. We'll eat it. So yeah, Animal Crossing, New Horizons, the rise and fall, and then the rebuilding have all come around.
That would have just been the I am never playing this game ever again moment.
Well, if my friend didn't really want to play it, like if they just wanted to play one time, that'd be fine with me, over and done with. But she's like really enjoying like coming to my island. She's always sending gifts on there, and I'm going to her island and like buying clothes and items because her island's like fully stocked.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't for all that, I would have just shelved the game and stared at it angrily every time I saw it on the shelf.
Like our PlayStation Minecraft world.
Did you delete that or did you keep it?
It's still there. But it is got cobwebs.
Yeah, I'm sad about that one too. Anyway, Tony, what have you been playing?
I haven't been playing much this week, actually. All of my time gaming this week has been spent in Super Mega Baseball 3, which I played last week and, raved about it. I have been taking advantage of the ability to do custom leagues, and instead of just like importing and making generic teams, I'm trying to create my own league, and you have to go in and you have to design every uniform and make all those edits, and it's a pretty time consuming process. I can do one team, maybe one and a half teams a night.
Wow.
And so that's what I've been doing this week. I'm making I think I called it the Southwest League, and it's teams from Oklahoma and Texas, and I've just been going through and doing that. I've got 4 teams fully made. Team from Cleveland here in Oklahoma, which is where I went to middle school and the first year of high school. A Tulsa team, and I think there was one other. And then over in Texas, I've done Pampa, which is where I went to high school, and Borger, which is a city not that far away from Pampa. Of course, you know exactly the places that I'm talking about.
Yes, I hear
Uh,
about them often, and my sister lives in Pampa.
so yeah, and so I've gone in and have been creating all of the uniforms for those. The Pampa uniforms I tried to make were based off of the ones that I wore when I played baseball for the high school, and then the other ones are all just random stuff.
Yeah,
And you can go really really crazy with it, but I'm trying to stay. I don't like a lot of the crazy uniform ideas, so I've been making some pretty straightforward ones. The one I'm most proud of is the Borger um, uniforms that I've done that are maroon and black and white, and I really like the design I've done for those.
So
Um,
I'm looking at your uniforms. This is a PlayStation 2 game.
this is a current gen game. Uh,
this is.
they
It
go
looks like a Wii game, honestly.
Yeah.
it's very very heavily stylized, and
And that's
that's
okay.
that's part of what I mean. It is definitely not MLB the Show level visuals. Um, so
I gotta tell you right now. I just tried to look up my high school, which doesn't exist anymore because
yeah,
they closed down a few years ago. By a few, like a few, like
20.
probably like 5 years, if I had to guess. I don't know. And so I just did a quick search, and there's like sweaters and shirts that have my high school and the mascot for my high school, and it says 2021. It's like, who is doing this? Why?
people who want to keep that high school alive.
It's not. It's like a prepsportswear.com is the site,
Hmm.
and
Maybe they don't
this
know
is
that the
not an
school
ad for
shut
them
down.
or anything.
So does that mean you don't have a high school diploma?
I do.
Like it's not valid anymore.
Yeah,
That school doesn't exist.
I have a college diploma.
That's a good point.
So like
Wait a second, I
the
have two of those.
the team editor in the game is like incredibly well done. It's incredibly detailed. You can do some really crazy things. Um, with multiple layers, like the logo I created for the Tulsa team, which I called the Tulsa Oilers, which is also the name of our hockey team up here. But it's got a couple of different pictures. It's got a picture of a guy that's technically a lumberjack, but I sort of made him look like a guy from an oil rig. And
Hmm.
then there's a giant wrench behind it that's dripping oil. Um, and then the name of the team above all of those. And you can go in and you can create outlines that, depending on what layer you've put things in, you can actually change the way it outlines things. So it can outline one specific part, or you can make it outline the entire logo that you've been doing. Um, and it's got tons of different images, shapes, different things that you can do to create your own logos. So you can get really crazy with it. Um, so
This,
that's I've been spending every moment playing this week messing around with that, so that I can do like I can remember back when I was, in middle school and early high school days of baseball games that would let you do just that, except we're talking DOS days.
oh my
So
gosh, my school was closed down in 2012.
wow, it's been closed for a while. So, but back when I was younger, I would create in like the Tony La Russa baseball games that all run on DOS. So this is pre Windows stuff that we're
Oh,
talking about.
sorry, Tony. I did not mean to interrupt you. I just
Um,
I forgot to apologize, so that's why I'm interrupting you with the
uh,
apology now.
no big deal.
Yeah,
Um,
sorry to interrupt you. Let me apologize about that.
I'm gonna
Sorry.
let you finish. But yeah, this is like reminding me of back in the day when I was a kid, and I would create my own leagues where I couldn't do things like this. I could just change the colors of the uniforms and put a name of a city on it, and then play baseball games using those leagues that I created. Where I had notebooks full of, like, I would write down the stats of all the players at the end of the games, and would keep track of all of the stats for the players throughout the year. It was
Cool.
crazy the amount of stuff that I was doing back then, which I wouldn't have time for now, but the games all do that for you. So,
Andy.
um,
So can you make a Halo emblem using the editor?
you could.
And then can you make the PG emblem?
I probably could. That would take a lot of work, but there's enough shapes that I could probably put them all together and end up making the procedurally generated logo.
Cool.
Because I remember doing that in like Call of Duty. You can make your own emblems and stuff, and there's all
Mhm.
those layers. Okay.
Yeah. So if I wanted to sit down and take the time to actually, because you can't freehand draw anything in it, you can only
Right.
stick shapes on there. So I could take all of the shapes and change the size and move them around and eventually get what would be the best approximation of the PG logo on there if I wanted to. It would probably take a very long time to do though. So, but that is what I have been playing this week. Nothing new, just playing a lot of menu moving in a baseball game is what I've been doing this week.
I got a question.
Okay.
Do you have any plans to make the Bad News Bears?
I mean, I could make it. I could. I hadn't thought of that, but I could. I don't think any of they're from Texas or Oklahoma, so
I just throwing it out there. And if you do make it, are you going with the remake or the original?
you have to go with the original.
Okay, that's fair.
Like Walter Matthau over Billy Bob Thornton any day is
Okay, yeah, okay.
so. Yeah, so let's take a quick break here. We will come back and we'll talk about the news. Okay, so I see that some extra news has been added to the show notes here because a couple of us on the show, not me, because I've seen one episode of Community, but you guys really like the show. And apparently there's a game.
So I found out just before we started the show that 6 seasons and a game is a free game on Steam. And it takes place in Greenville, or is it Greenville? Greendale.
Yep.
Sorry. Greendale Community College, which is the setting for Community, which is a TV show. I think it was on, what, was it NBC?
NBC, probably.
One of those channels. And I've watched like the whole season, like, or whole series, like, I think I'm on my third run through. I think I stopped watching mostly because GDQ came up, so I had no reason to watch it for a while. But I know Cole's been watching some of it. I think. Have you seen the whole thing yet or not?
Me? Yeah, no, I'm watching it the second time.
Okay. So, I mean, I couldn't pass up a chance at, throwing this out there in the news because I really love that series. And what it is a paintball game based. Did I say it was paintball? Or, anyway, based on various episodes that happen throughout the each. I think they do what three, at least 3 or 4. They had like 3 or 4. Some of them may have been even two-parters where it's paintball episodes that just take place across the entire campus. Where it's like the last person standing gets either like priority registration or it was like $10,000 or something ridiculous like that at some point. So you had all this chaos happening where everyone's like turning against each other, and the entire school is a battleground. So someone went through the trouble of making a paintball map out of the entire school for that series, and you get to play as various characters from there. So, you know, I have it downloaded. I'm gonna give it a try. Yeah. So I just thought I'd throw that out there, and there's a lot of good reviews on there. The only downside is Britta is in there.
I don't get this reference, so
If you watch Community, you know who Britta is. She's one of
It
the
says
main
that
7 characters.
one of their main things says they didn't. This game has got all the references and all the funny stuff, and they definitely didn't Brita it. That's good news.
If that gives you any idea about Britta.
mm-mm.
She, uh, she's like the second character introduced in the whole series, and she started out strong, and then they just diminished her character more and more. I think by the 3rd season, she's just like this horrible person. It's just like no one cares about her anymore. So, anyway, just wanted to throw that out there.
I looked at the screenshot or a couple of the screenshots that I had seen, and it looks like there was a um a water gun first person shooter on the Wii, and that reminded me that just that visual style of that. So
Well, I mean, they're using a free to play game, so they're not too heavy in what they design.
yeah,
Everything's probably done in like a what's that one game engine a lot of people use?
Unity.
Yeah, it's probably done in
Qmart?
Unity for all I can guess on that.
Unity.
Yeah, so I I'll if you guys if it's multiplayer and we can play it online together, I'll download it and play it because I'm up for weird first person shooters.
I'll look into it and I'll let you know.
Okay. So while we're talking about TV shows, has anybody seen WandaVision yet this week?
No, my interest in Vision as a character is like 0.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, like I checked out of the MCU pretty much. I was like, I'm done. Endgame is over. That seems like a good spot to just be like, that's it. I don't need to see any more.
I don't know.
But
Spider-Man keeps going strong.
I mean, there might be a few that I check out here or there, but like I watched all of the MCU movies from uh, back in first Iron Man, the Incredible Hulk movie, all the way through Endgame, and I just thought that seems like a good spot to just be done. All the characters that I know are moving on. You're going to be getting new characters, so um, it just seems like the perfect place to stop. But this is like, okay, maybe you don't want to leave the MCU just yet because this was a really fun show. The first couple of episodes are out.
Cool.
Uh, they're done in like Dick Van Dyke Show, Bewitched style. They're old black and white sitcoms, but you can tell something's not quite right. Um, so I don't know how this connects exactly to the events of like Endgame and all of that stuff, but it's got me intrigued at least, and it's 9 episodes. So um, there's this show and then the Loki show are the two that I really want to watch.
Yeah, I heard about Loki's series. That's already greenlit for season 2, and season 1 hasn't even aired yet.
Yeah,
So that's crazy.
yeah. So like I like the Loki character. This seems like it's sticking. The WandaVision show specifically feels like it's sticking with the MCU, but it's not as heavy and intense as the MCU movies got towards the end of Endgame. So it's a nice. Let's just ease back into things a little bit. I don't know that I'm going to get back into the movies. There's like Moon Knight, all those characters. I don't care. Um, so,
Okay.
but because these are shows that still are tied to that first run of the MCU. I'm gonna check these shows out and see if they're any good. And so far, it seems like it's off to a decent start. There's no Star Wars right now, so I gotta watch something.
Cool. 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 Cool.
So uh, I have no way to segue that into Stadia because there's no Star Wars and no Marvel on Stadia. So Stadia is getting one of their features that they've been talking about from the very beginning implemented this week
About
with the
time.
release. with the release of Hitman 3, you are going to be able to do their uh, share states, which is what they're calling them. And basically, what it allows you to do is take a small portion of the game. Like, I just got through this really intense spot. I want to see if my friend can do what I just did. And you save the game at that spot. You send your friend a link, and it does. I did see that you do have to have the game. So I can't just like send it to you and say, hey, try this and see.
Yeah,
Um,
I didn't think it'd work the way you were thinking.
yeah, I figured it may be, but I thought maybe they do that as a way to get people to be like, okay, I've played this. Now I want to, try out Stadia a little more. I thought maybe they'd use that as a way to do something like that. But it basically lets you take a small chunk of the game and it creates a web link that you send to your friend, and they can click on that and it boots the game up exactly in that spot. And you can have them try to do the same section of the game that you just did,
It
or maybe it's a section that you can't get through, and you can have them try, and they can show you how to do it.
makes
And
sense. Yeah.
yeah, so
I mean, that's great that they've gotten to that point, but it's not fully realized in the original vision they were stating that it should be, because they were talking about how like watching a streamer playing the game like that, and it's like, oh yeah, I want to be able to play it where they're at as well, and so they wanted to be where you can just hit a button and bam, you're playing that game like midway through the
that
level.
that feature is implemented in some games.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
it
it is.
shows what
That
I know
was
about
one
Stadia there.
a few weeks ago. That was one of those. I don't remember what game was the first one that had it. But there are some of those where you can be watching a streamer and click a button and be dumped into the game with them.
Oh,
So
okay, good to know.
um,
Or maybe it was a ruse by me to make people realize that that's actually a thing in there.
so
No, I really didn't know.
but one of the community managers of the developers working with Stadia was asked about how share state would work, and it's specifically right now just for Hitman 3, as well as it will also be implemented in the first two Hitman games. So all of that franchise will have share state, and it will be implemented in other games going forward. Um, but you can let me see. They've IO Interactive has designed its use of state share to allow all save game states to include the following gameplay elements: mission starting location within the beginning of the level, mission objectives, player loadout, meaning you get the exact weapons and gear that the player has. Even if you don't have them yet in the game, you can still use them.
Okay.
So, and then the difficulty level that they're using. So there's a you it's a simple thing. You just, whenever you want to use it, you click a button. There's a couple options that you choose, and then you click a button that says copy link, and you can put that out on social media wherever you want, or on your YouTube video. And then anybody that clicks on that link can do that portion of the game. So
All right.
that will be this week with the release of Hitman 3. And also, Hitman 3 is coming to the Switch this week on January 20th as well. It will be the second game, I think, after Control on the Switch here in North America that is streaming only. So you don't download the game to your system. You're actually streaming the game to your Switch.
Oh, okay.
So
Cool to see
uh,
that's a feature.
So you will see this week that, just like with Control, the game shows that it's free on the eShop, but don't think you can actually play the full game for free. What it does is it downloads the game, you play for like 5 minutes. The game is testing your internet connection during that time. And then if your connection is stable enough, it will then allow you to go and purchase full access to the game. Or it'll say, hey, your internet's not working, you need to try, you know, a different internet
Hmm.
connection. So that will be this week on the 20th as well. So it's Hitman week for I think the game's also coming to Xbox One and PS4 I'm not 100% sure about the new consoles.
That's great.
So, but there you go. And then Nintendo this week released a couple of trailers for some games that both look fantastic.
Yeah, they did.
They released a new, I think, 2.5 minute long trailer for Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, and that game looks so good.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
we already knew Super Mario 3D World was a great game, but the Bowser's
yeah,
Fury,
it is.
that's where all the new stuff that people care about's at.
Yeah, I've seen a few things that looks like maybe they've tweaked some of the Mario 3D World stuff. Like there's some changes to some of the level design, some additions to some places that maybe were a little sparsely populated before, now have some more stuff to do.
True.
Um, but the Bowser's Fury section, which is a separate thing, it's not just we're going to add a couple of Bowser's Fury levels to 3D World. It's its own separate thing.
Hmm.
Um, and those levels are huge. They said specifically that the Bowser's Fury stuff that you do in this game is bigger than the levels that you played in Super Mario Odyssey.
And
I
they definitely feel
like it.
and look like they play like an Odyssey level sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, were you gonna say something, Cole?
No, I was just saying, yeah, they looked like they were the size of the Super Mario Odyssey levels.
Yeah, they're huge, and it looks like there's a lot of stuff to do. Uh, so I was already like I wanted to buy Mario 3D World. I knew I was going to because I love that game on the Wii U, and I think it was criminally uh, not necessarily overlooked, but because the Wii U had such a horrible sell through, not many people played Mario 3D World, and it's going to get that second life that it deserves on the Switch. And I fully expect that this will be a huge seller for the Switch.
It really should be.
And bro,
Yeah.
So
hmm.
But I mean, it was great getting to see a lot actual footage of Bowser's Fury World or whatever you want to call it, and everything just being cat themed in there is amazing.
and Bowser looks enormous. Like he is huge in
I
that Bowser's Fury section.
I didn't know how big. I mean, I knew he was huge, but then you get to see the actual trailer, and it's like, oh my goodness!
Yeah, and
Like
then
it's
there's
like
some
Shadow. It almost seems like Shadow of the Colossus stuff going on there.
yeah, yeah. And like there's some of the promotional art where they see like you've got Bowser and Bowser Jr. who is playable in the Bowser's Fury section.
He is
He
your
and
like
Mario,
co-op partner. It's pretty awesome.
yeah, he and Mario have teamed up because Bowser's gone insane, and even Bowser Jr.'s like, dude, we got to stop him, because he is messed up. But there's some promotional art of those two on a cliff, and you see Bowser Jr. just off in the distance,
You
and
see
we're
You
talking.
see Bowser off in the distance, not Bowser
Oh yeah,
Jr.
sorry, yeah, Bowser, and he's like Godzilla size.
It's like
Uh,
it's very reminiscent of the last level of Yoshi's Yoshi's Island, wasn't it? Or yeah, it was. I'm trying not to say it was Yoshi's. Yeah, Yoshi's Island on the Super
yeah,
Nintendo, where you have Yoshi, and then off in the distance is the I guess baby Bowser, and he's huge, running at you, and you're throwing the eggs. It's reminiscent of that.
yeah. Uh, and just for anybody that's interested, GameStop, if you pre-order the game there, you get two posters for the game. One featuring the dinosaur that you ride on in Mario 3D World. I don't remember his name. Um,
Plessy,
yeah, there it is. It's in the show notes.
Plessy.
Um, so you've got all the characters riding on him, and then they've got another poster of you know Godzilla Bowser,
I really want that
which
poster, but I already
that's
pre-ordered like months ago, so I'm not changing that from wherever
it's
I
a
ordered from.
it's a really cool looking poster.
It is.
Um,
And
so
I really enjoyed all the even though it was a fake name, I really loved that name that was going around for Bowser.
oh yeah, like
Uh,
with Godslayer Bowser, and
yes,
then
it was just it's like okay, so this is like ultimate form Bowser. This it doesn't go any higher than that.
yeah, and we cannot talk about the game and not talk about Super Saiyan Cat Mario.
That too, yes.
because I don't think Cole was ready for Super Saiyan Cat Mario when we showed him the
I
trailer.
was not. You said Super Saiyan Cat Mario, and I said, yeah, okay. And then I saw it, and I was like, I couldn't. There's nothing. There's no way around it. It wasn't like, okay, it's a yellow. It's Super Saiyan Cat Mario. Like even Super Saiyan Sonic was. Oh, I could be like, yeah, that's not a Super Saiyan. That's just Sonic superpowered. This is Super Saiyan Cat Mario.
It really is.
Giga Super Saiyan Cat Mario times infinity.
So yeah, and that you play as that version of Cat Mario in the Bowser's Fury stuff, and you touch this like enormous bell, and Mario just he grows to Godzilla's size, and he is Super Saiyan, and I want to know exactly what you're doing in that part because they don't show any gameplay of that.
They don't want to ruin the surprise.
So I really want to know what you do as Super Saiyan Cat Mario against Godzilla Bowser.
I don't want to spoil it, but I assume it has something to do with a cat-based spirit bomb. Cats, lend me your string.
And, and then the other trailer that they showed off this week was a game that they've been really quiet about since they first announced it, and that is Pokemon Snap. We got a new trailer for new Pokemon Snap, which is what the game is actually called.
It really looks great. Just I'm
It'll
throwing
be
it
out
out there.
on April 30th, and I think it's by far the best looking Pokemon game we've ever gotten.
Well, I mean, when your
Um,
game is an on rails thing where you're not going too far off the beaten path,
well, yeah,
you
there is a
you
little
you
bit
can
of that.
focus everything to look pretty good. But I mean, this looks better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, so that game will be out on April 30th. I don't know if do we have a price for it yet? I haven't seen. I didn't look in the eShop this week, so I don't know.
I
Uh,
don't recall seeing it on there on the eShop this week. When
I'm
I was
trying to
buying
pull
a
it.
second copy of Animal Crossing,
Oh, it is $60.
doesn't surprise me.
So yeah, I was curious if maybe it was like a $30, you know, game, but it is not. It is a $60 full retail price. Um, so yeah, and I really hope they do put some Labo support in that game because it would make perfect sense.
It really would. Yeah.
Uh, Using the Labo camera, of course you won't
You know,
have to, but
what they'll do is sell a different Labo kit.
oh gosh, that's
That
Pokemon themed.
yeah, that's what they're gonna do.
Don't give them any ideas, Ethan.
No, I don't need to give them an idea. They're already gonna do it, or they're not gonna do it at all, and there won't be any
That's
Labo
true.
support.
That's true. It would either be no Labo support or full on. Here's your new Pokemon Snap Labo, your Pokemon Slabo.
And if they were
Um,
gonna do it, they would have already said they were doing it right now, and then had like a special super awesome bundle order.
so
Or maybe they're still doing
We
that. We
haven't
haven't
really.
found out yet.
It's not released, but we do have a patent. You'll
Yeah.
get our lawyers after you.
yeah. So I have never played Pokemon Snap, so this will be the first time I have played the game. So I have
First thing
no
I'm
idea
doing,
what to expect.
is I'm knocking a Charmeleon lava, if he evolves. That's that's the first member from this 64 version.
The
Throw an
64
apple
ver-
on
the 64 version, you start out with I think just the camera. And then as you
yeah.
take better pictures, you earn points. You spend the points for upgrades where you can get the ability to throw apples, you get the ability to throw pester balls, and then you also get like the ability to speed up and or stop. No, it was speed up, not stop, wasn't it? Or was it a slow down?
You could probably slow down. I think the only
I might
stopping
be
was when
confusing
you
it with some mods that I saw out there for emulation, but it was probably I want to say it was actually speed up is what it was. So you just speed up to the next section, so you're not sitting here waiting. but you would go back and replay areas. It's like, okay, now I have apples, and there's that Pikachu that's like 5 feet away from a surfboard. So you throw the apples and lure the Pikachu. He sees the surfboard, he hops on there, and then you have Surfing Pikachu for a better picture.
Oh.
So it's one of those where you affect what happens on the map a little bit here or there.
Mhm.
And then if you do
I'm
everything
not
just
sure.
right, you get to go and take pictures of Mew at the very end. And by take pictures of Mew, I mean you take pictures of nothing.
You have
That
to beat
sounds
him
great.
you have to beat him with the apples until he loses his shield. And, no. I murdered a Charmeleon and it evolved into a Charizard. I'm sorry, you knocked the Pokemon into a volcano. I don't think he evolved, but the game
No, I'm
is
pretty sure he died.
but the game is rated E. So the Pokemon evolved. Thanks, 4Kids.
So, but yeah, I am very excited about Pokemon Snap. Thankfully, it comes out a little bit after Mario, so I don't have to try to buy two $60 games back to back.
Right.
But yeah, I will definitely be playing a little bit of Pokemon Snap. But that, I think, will be it for the show. Before we leave, though, I just want to say the first pictures from the new Mortal Kombat movie came out this week, and that movie looks like it's going to be good.
Yep.
At least visually, it looks like it's going to be good.
It doesn't look as cheesy as the original looked, even in that
No.
time period.
I think part of. Did I see that the guy that did the Mortal Kombat Conquest miniseries is attached to this in
I
some
think
way?
he's been attached since like the beginning on that, if I recall.
Yeah. Which I really liked that miniseries. I thought that was really good.
I didn't see it, but I knew it existed.
So-
They're well done.
Cool.
It was like an updated, more mature version of Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah, it is definitely not, it's not your family-friendly Mortal Kombat from the 90s.
That is super family friendly by today's standards.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I really liked that first Mortal Kombat movie. I don't care what anybody says. That is when you have your list of favorite, licensed movies, the Mortal Kombat movie is near the top of the list for me. Because it's dumb fun is what it was.
Like Super Mario Brothers.
That still, even though it's dumb fun, does not make the list.
Yeah,
What
that had like sad backstory during the recording.
Street Fighter, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
That's good, only because of Raul Julia. He definitely, the over-the-top nature of M. Bison in that movie is what makes that movie watchable. So, but yeah, that will be it for the show this week. So thank you very much, Cole, for being here.
Is it time to leave already?
It is. And thank you very much, Ethan, for being here as well.
I just realized the developer for 6 seasons in a game is the human beings.
That seems like a good
That is
name.
the mascot for the school.
That's the mascot for this.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Again, it's another reference that I don't get.
It's so full of references. All right, that's where we're ending the show. Yeah.
If you want to reach out to us, we have new ways to do so. You can email us at procedurallygeneratedent@gmail.com. If you like what we do, you can support us on Patreon by going to patreon.com/pgent. Patreon supporters get the video version of the podcast a day early. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/progenint. Check out our YouTube channel, and we still have that famous Facebook group where you can interact with us on a daily basis as well.